and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hertel. Here. Hussein.
Here.
Mortimer.
Here.
Halbert.
Here.
Julian.
Here.
Gus.
Here.
All right, moving on to agenda approval. Have a motion? Motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Citizens participation. Diane Ware. Diane Ware.
Ms. Clear called and she could not make it, but I gave everybody a printout of the email that she is requesting to use Hood Park, the hog barns, for their 2026 Show Me Classic Goat Show. They've done this in the past. They will pay the deposit and the rental. We've never had any problems with their cleanups out there for the goat show. They're just asking for permission to use it June 5th through 7th.
Have a motion?
And they did check with the fair board for the dates.
Motion. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Against? Anyone else? Go ahead, Jackie.
I'd like to talk a little bit tonight about the financial statements, but before I do, I would like to cordially invite each one of you who filed for re-election to a Meet the Candidates night. It will be on March 10th. It is open to the public, of course. It will be unscripted. You can expect that the audience will ask questions that are of the greatest concern to them. It will be videotaped, and that videotape will be posted on YouTube and possibly other websites so that the public can review it when they want and perhaps even do some fact checking of your answers. And lest you think I'm leaving anybody out, I'm giving these all to you. The people who file, who do not sit in those seats, are also getting their invitations. So I hope you come, and I hope you have a great night. And now, regarding the financial statements, the Department of Economic Development announced yesterday it had awarded a total of more than $16.7 million in grants to Missouri communities. To Williamsville, $622,449 for paving and drainage improvements. Wellsville, $150 for street projects. Puxico, $616,790 for street and drainage improvements. As you can see, these were not small grants. 40 more were issued in addition to the 3 I just described to you. A community that was not on the list was, of course, Cuba, because we didn't apply. And I don't have the whole answer for why we didn't apply. I think it's something that should be looked into by you. But I think I have part of the answer. And part of it may be that we simply do not have up-to-date financial statements. Our last audited financial statement was for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2023. And the audit for that year was not completed until August 6, 2025, nearly 2 years after the year ended. That is simply not acceptable. Tonight, item 5 on the agenda is audit bids. There will probably be bids for the 2024 and 25 years to bring us up to date. There should at least be a bid for 2026. You see, we know that 2026 must be audited. It's the law. Yet we do not plan for it. That year will end in less than 6 months, and we should be ready to complete the audit as soon as it's reasonable. Since audit bids are on the agenda for tonight, I will ask the mayor if, when that item is called up, he will address the reason it takes us so long to audit our financial statements and why we don't plan in advance for our audits, so we are always ready to take advantage of grants that will help us improve our city. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Deb Wallenberg, and I'm going to talk fast because I've got more than 3 minutes of information to share, so I'll try to get this up, and you can always ask me more questions. I'm here Let me pass this out, please. I'm here to appeal to the city to remedy a situation that was caused by an employee of the city, directly caused by an employee of the city. On June 7th, 2024, I was swimming laps in the pool at Cuba. I've got kind of a sketch on there, I'm not an artist. I was swimming along the edge, and while I was swimming, I noticed a man walking along the edge pouring something in the water. And I stopped and asked what it was. He said, it's algicide, it's safe. So I kept swimming. When I finished for the day, I found out what it was, because my eyes were more irritated than normal. I always used to swim without goggles. You know, a little bit of irritation from the chlorine, but this was way worse. So I got the information. It's called Backup 2, it's an algicide. I irrigated my eyes at the pool. I went home. I looked up the SDS, and that's the second page that I gave you. It says that this chemical can cause irreversible eye damage. So while I was at home, I irrigated my eyes copiously. I had a really miserable 24 hours. I took ibuprofen. I kept using eye drops. I almost went to the ER, and I'm an ER nurse, okay? I knew what they were going to do. They were going to irrigate my eyes. They would maybe give me pain medicines or ibuprofen and send me home. I had already done that. I was somewhat improved by morning, but my eyes have not been right since. It's been a year and a half. I've been in contact with the city. I believe it was October of 2024, I contacted the city. They had Mulkern contact me. Mulkern reached out to me. He asked me some questions, and then he said he was going to look into the chemical. I didn't hear from him for months. I contacted him again in August, and I said, you know, I haven't heard from you, what's going on? He said, well, you didn't send me any demands, and I said, you didn't tell me I needed to send you something, you were going to look into this and get back to me. He said, you need to send receipts, doctor visits and stuff like that, and I said, what about HIPAA, what about privacy things? Because he wanted me to email him, and he goes, what's HIPAA? And I'm like, this is, you know, I'm not sending my stuff through email. So I made a packet for him, I sent it to him, I sent it certified, it was received on November 4th of this year. I emailed him, I called him, I texted him, I've gotten no reply. I can give you information on the chemical itself. The Backup 2 is an algicide. It's 50% benzalkonium chloride. Benzalkonium chloride is a biocide, it's a disinfectant. It used to be used as preservative in eye drops in very, very small doses. They quit doing that because it was causing damage to eyes. When he put it in the pool, to be safe, the concentration has to be less than 0.005%. To get to that dilution, when he poured it in, it would have to spread out over 2,500 gallons, about 334 cubic feet, or an area about 25 feet long, 4 feet wide, 3.5 feet deep. That doesn't happen instantaneously. So the dosage I was exposed to was some number significantly higher than what's the safe dose. In addition to that, the other half of the substance, the Backup 2, is proprietary. I had contacted the company. They said, oh, this is a reportable incident, so they had to report it in-house. They had to report it to the, what they said, relevant agencies outside, which I assume is the EPA. I wrote to the EPA. They will not disclose what it is. So I was exposed to something that's known to cause permanent irreversible eye damage, some other chemical that I don't know what it is, and then also when there's a chemical reaction, when you pour chemicals in the pool, there's intermediate chemicals that occur that are called metabolites, and some of them are known to be harmful. And again, that's only from the benzalkonium chloride. That's not from the other half of the chemical, you know, whatever it is. So since June 7th of 2024, I've had chronic dry eye, I've had multiple doctor visits. I finally found a doctor who is familiar with the damage caused by benzalkonium chloride. I saw him a few times. He kept giving me different things to try, different medications, different eye drops. They did a tear test. My eyes produce almost no tears, and the tears that are produced are of poor quality. And this is all because of the chemical exposure that day in the pool. I have to use eye drops frequently during the day. When I sleep at night, I sleep about 5 or 6 hours, and I wake up with dry, painful eyes. I have to put eye drops in. On a good day, I get back to sleep. So this is what my life is like. When I saw the doctor in August of this year, he said, come back in a year. He's got nothing else for me. We did find one kind of drops that do work, they're called Mino. They cost about $1,000 for a 3-month supply. He had given me samples, they work well. That's too expensive for me. So I am here to appeal to the city, to cover my past expenses, to cover my future expenses, because it looks like I'm gonna be dealing with this for the rest of my life. I can give you a lot more information on request. I've got research studies on the benzalkonium chloride. The city employee, literally, like I was swimming here, he's walking along here pouring it in and pouring it in while I'm swimming. It says on the label that nobody is supposed to be in the water for 15 minutes after this is applied to the pool. The SDS that I gave you says it causes irreversible eye damage, and yet he's telling me it's safe. When I talked to him after the incident, he said, well, the sales rep told me it's safe, and he was not sounding like he was believing me. I said, I will send you the information from the company, because categorically, if the SDS says it's, unsafe, and the company says you should not be put in the water when there's people in there and they need to wait 15 minutes before you go in, this is directly on him. And it was during adult swim. The pool was nearly empty. I was doing laps. There were some ladies exercising over here. There was no reason for him to put it in right next to where I was. So to me, that's inexcusable. And then when I talked to the manager after I was done swimming and wanted to find out what the substance was, she said, oh yeah, he said people are gonna freak out because he's pouring chemicals in when they're swimming. I just cannot fathom that a city employee would make a decision like that. And here I am stuck with this now for probably the rest of my life. So I would like the city to cover past and future medical expenses for this. And I will be happy to give you, I've got information, I'm sure. At your request, just tell me what you need.
Give us some time to look into this. I'd like to talk to the supervisor that, poured it in.
Yes.
So this is catching me by surprise here. So let us do some research, talk to our guys. What do you think, Larry?
You think it's the best thing to do, really? That's the first time I ever heard it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I had sent you a letter in October of 24, but I'm sure you're a busy guy and you get lots of communication from people.
Well, I'm sure we will talk to our supervisors about it and see what, he says, and we'll get back a hold of you.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Just let me know what information you need.
Is your phone number and stuff on this? I don't see it on here.
Top right corner maybe?
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you. We didn't know anything about it in water.
I realize that.
We will look into it, that's for sure.
And I guess it's this, when I had talked to David Shausen in August, and, he said plenty of stuff, and then I tried to get a hold of him after I sent him everything, and he's not responding, so that's why I'm here now appealing to the city. Thank you all for your time, I appreciate
We'll
it.
be back to you as soon as possible.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So, this extraordinary team that you put together for the Parks and Rec Board failed to have a meeting for December. I blame you. Is there a meeting here shortly that's supposedly going to be on the books or planned for? You've got organizations out here in the community that are relying on a liaison from them to you. Is there something going to happen here before long? Are you guys going to have a meeting?
Okay.
What do you think, Ray? Are you guys going to have a meeting?
I'll answer that.
Oh, well, you were asking him before.
I expect.
I'm on the water committee, but not the park committee, thank you.
Dan, I expect you to blame me for everything that happens in Cuba. Yes, we are going to have a park board meeting as soon as, hopefully next month. It's up,
Next month, that's February.
what was it this month, next month, we're meeting?
January, it would be next week.
It'll be next
In my
week.
understanding, we are scheduling a meeting for next week at normal time.
Very good, that's what I
Like
want
I
to
said,
know.
Dan, I expect you to blame me for everything.
Well, you are to blame for everything.
Well, thank you.
Sir.
Anybody else? Hearing none, moving on. Regular minutes of December 16th, 2025. Have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. We're gonna table the executive session minutes for, the next meeting of December 16th, 2025. Bills to be paid. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Motion.
Second.
Do I have a second? Any questions on the bills? Everybody in favor of paying the bills?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, audit bid.
So, only one bid was received.
Who's-
It's for the current
Yes,
auditors,
yes.
Catlett and Associates.
Association,
And it was advertised to bid for the years 25, 26, and 27.
25, 26, and 27. And the bid would be, yeah, I'm not gonna break this down to 2025, looks like audit would be $22,000. Hourly rate's $95 to $195 per hour, but that's no work. 2026, if a 5% increase would be $23,100. Hourly charge would be $100 to $195 per hour. 2027, 5% increase of $24,200. Hourly rate $105 to $195 per hour. Do we have any questions on these bids?
Did you say it was the same auditor that just did the one?
Yeah, I think
It is
so.
the same auditor.
Yeah.
And there is a proposal, if you guys would wait till, if you wanna wait and look at it, it's up to you.
Y'all wanna wait and look at the proposal?
I've got a couple of questions first. When did the bids, what date did the bids go out?
Right after the last meeting, and they were to be returned today at 2 p.m.
So it went out on what date?
I would have to go back and look. I started
You
emailing
have
them.
to send them out for 30 days, right?
No.
So we just have, those 2 weeks.
How many people did it go out to?
I'd have to check. I have a list of auditors that I go through.
I'm just making sure we.
And then I put it in the paper.
We only have one bid.
So we wanna go ahead and approve this tonight? Do we have a motion, or do we wanna wait and,
Last time we only.
I sent out to, I know at least 8 or more auditors. I got 2 back that said that they were not interested in doing municipal audits. Sent to one that bid last year, no response. A previous auditor that said that they would give us a bid this year, and no response. So we're finding it harder to get audit bids. People are retiring, they're moving on due to audit standards. So it's my recommendation that you approve this bid, because you're either gonna pay 3 times the amount or not find one at all for several years. And that's what we were in the shape that that's why we're in the shape that we're in right now. It's
What
because we
did you
can't get an auditor.
What did he charge us for the 2024 audit?
We haven't been billed for that yet. 2023 was 20,000 or 22 or 20,000 or 22. I'd have to go back and look. Somewhere in the $20,000 range.
It was going up about 1,000 a year.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid. If we don't, we're gonna be back where we were at.
I second the motion.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes?
I would also like to inform you that 2024's audit is scheduled to start next week, so we are on schedule for that.
2024?
Mm-hmm.
Move on to mayor's appointment of the Park Rec Board appointment. I do have a couple names. If I can find them. Michael, what's that, how you pronounce that? Down?
I don't other gentleman, Michael Dowdy.
Downey, and Marisa Smith. I'd like to appoint them to the park board. Do I have a motion?
With an expiration here.
Oh yeah, the expiration date will be on Michael, will be expiring May 1st, 2028. Marisa Smith expires May 1st, 2028. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Do a roll call on this one.
Purcell,
yes.
Hussein,
No.
Watermeyer,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Reagan,
Yes.
Bass.
No, we already have a park board.
All right. When I became mayor of Cuba, I said we'd be putting a comprehensive plan in, something we ain't had for 20 years. So, Ray, can you give us an update of where we're at?
Well, okay, we are working on a grant from Delta Region that does the comprehensive plans. We were not chosen last year, 2025. We are in the top tier this year. We will let the grant between March and May of this year. We don't know, we have just as much chance as anybody else, but there's a lot of people who participate in this grant. I would suggest that we have $40,000 in our budget for this grant, is our portion. We cannot take a chance that we're not gonna get it, we may not, but, MRPC is working on it. So what we need to do is make sure that that is put back in this year's budget, so that we get, if we do get awarded the grant, then our comprehensive plan we can actually bid that out, which is normally MRPC does the planning for us. It'll be for 20 years. It takes it'll take at least 6 months, probably 12 months to put this plan together, because you have to look into the future, see what you want to do in 5 years and 10 years, what infrastructure you're going to have to replace. So it's something that, and Cuba hasn't had one forever. And so we actually need this. It shows some of these things that you put in a plan, in your comprehensive plan, will never be done. But you've got to plan on that everything you do, put into the plan will be done. And so at a certain time. Things change in 10 years, we may not need what's put in there. But anyway, it covers the basics, new sidewalks, tell you what you should do year to year. It's in the works, that's all I can tell you. But we'll just have to wait and see if our numbers are.
And that's infrastructure, electric, water, gas, sewer.
Yes,
We'll have a plan for
that
the
is the
10, 20
complete-
years.
That's a complete plan for the city of Cuba for that many years.
And we'll know what's budget.
You got water lines that 50 years old, they're gonna have to replace. You got sewer lines, whatever. You're gonna have to, whatever it needs to be done. So every department will have to be studied by the people who join the planning, putting it together. And then they will bring it back to the council. They will presumably, I hope, read it and then approve it.
Thank you, Ray.
You're welcome.
Well, we just did comprehensive studies for the McBride project. Most of the information, I just went through the entire comprehensive plan. It was written in 1999, renewed in 2003. If we take the information that McBride just did, if I remember correctly, every single department was analyzed to see whether or not it would take 565 houses. And am I correct? So we should have most of the comprehensive plan concerning the infrastructure. Everything else, you can almost pull off of AI.
Well, not all the infrastructure. We got a lot of old water lines, sewer lines off in town.
Yeah, but we've already done all of that. Most of that stuff should be done because it came into play with all the new stuff. They all have to run into the same location.
To that area, but we got a lot that don't hook to that area.
None of that has changed in 20 years.
I know, but we have to put that in the comprehensive plan, when we're gonna fix it, how long it's gonna take. We have that lead and copper study, we're gonna do all that, and that's not out in that area. But all right, I understand what you're saying, Ray.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, moving on. Brown's Property and Maintenance, building update. I do wanna say something before we start on that. Back in about October 15th or so, I went to the meeting, on it. We know we have a few buildings got roof leak and stuff like that. We agreed, I've worked to put it in this year's budget, this coming year's budget, and we didn't have the funds for this year's budget. So we know what we need to do. So, but Jerry, do you wanna give the update on what you've done and everything?
What I've done?
Huh?
What I've done?
Yeah, since that meeting, or does Pitch want to lead that?
I've got it all on here. Jerry turned it all in,
Okay.
and I just put it all on here. The last meeting was 10/15/2025. The people up there were Jerry Montgomery, Don Gregory, Alderman Ray Mortimer, Alderwoman Joyce Hartzell, Alderman Pitzel Saint, Mayor Kevin Copeland, and absent was Alderman Hubert. Discussion of Tangle Creek Park, playground equipment, daily maintenance and inspection processes. Discussion started concerning a previous video conference call with the seller of the playground equipment that had advised us to rake and fill the area at least twice a day to keep the surface smooth and consistent, and a consistent depth to keep it safe for falls. We discussed having daily inspections and the requirement should any parts become damaged or missing. The damaged or missing parts will need to be ordered and replaced immediately. The equipment should not be used with damaged or missing parts and cannot be altered from its original condition. Discussion of major products needed in the next quarter. Hood Park, Jerry mentioned the air conditioner at the Hood Park exhibit building needs to be looked at as it is not working properly. The flexible ductwork is improperly routed and old, so it is collapsing. Periodically, the animals are getting in and damaging it as well. Marvin has pieced the ductwork together to make do. They were able to borrow an air conditioning for this year's fair. Action taken, need an estimate on air conditioning ductwork.
I'm sorry?
I said the action taken was that we agreed we needed a
Get an estimate, right.
estimate on air conditioning ductwork. That has not been budgeted for. We are waiting for a review from legal concerning the contract that we have with the fair board. I don't know where we're at with that.
Didn't you send an email out today about it?
I sent it just to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you would forward it on to him. I did not.
I thought you sent it to everybody. Do you
No,
have
just to
it?
you. It's our responsibility.
It's our responsibility.
The metal roof on the exhibit building, thank you. The metal roof on the exhibit building has been leaking for about 5 years. They have tried to isolate and repair with no luck. The galvanized metal roofing is also rusting. The leaks have caused considerable damage to the ceiling drywall in the hallway and are starting to show in the other areas inside the building, to include kitchen and exhibit hall ceilings. The trusses and purlins are starting to show water damage as well. Jerry offered to take me for a tour, which I did after the meeting. Jerry stated the metal roof is over 10 years old. He stated it's not a consistent leak. They've looked at it. Sometimes they come in and it's wet, sometimes it's not. We discussed options to hire a company to repair or replace if needed. It was asked who would fund, which we now know. Alderwoman Hartzell agreed to talk to the Parks and Fair Board concerning repairs. Let's see, the contract, we won't go into that since we just got the answer on the contract. The siding on the building shows dry rot, water and animal intrusion damage. Siding needs to be repaired, replaced, and painted. Hole needs patched, and items need to be budgeted. That includes the roof. We have options to either coat that roof, and so we're going to have to get a bid for that as well, or at least an estimate for that as well. Museum, Alderman Mortimer stated he needs ceiling addressed at the museum as it has fallen into the office. Action taken, Marvin has repaired ceiling. It's a closed item. Recline building, Jerry stated the roof has had several leaks for years. They were able to isolate the one over the hallway and have resolved it. Damage was done to the hallway ceiling. They have repaired that drywall. They have another intermittent leak they cannot isolate and have a contractor coming to look at it the first week of January.
Tomorrow morning at 8:15.
Tomorrow morning, 8:15. Action taken, waiting on the contractor review. City Hall, air conditioning at City Hall is not working properly. City Council room was very hot. Action taken, City Council approved, repair, replaced the item. That is closed. Old City Hall, chimney needs chimney cap installed. Jerry installed the cap, item is closed. Visitor center, benches in front of the visitor center are broken and may cut someone. Action taken, benches were removed, items closed. Side porch needs repair.
I got an estimate on it, so we're gonna get started on it.
Flower bed mulch around visitor center is very unsightly, very old and rotten, has lots of weeds growing in it, and is too hard to maintain. Options were discussed to remove and plant grass so that it's easier to maintain. Alderman Mortimer will discuss with tourism. South end and west side of the runway have major weed, grass, and tree growth. Action taken, cut down all the weeds, grass, trees, unclosed. Jerry, that place looks fantastic.
Thank you.
You did an awesome job. Day-to-day operations of the department, preventive maintenance and quarterly inspections were discussed. Jerry stated he can only do so much nickel and dime repairs with what they have. Alderman on the same state, our buildings need to be a huge priority. Jerry acknowledged he does not need council approval to fix or repair minor issues as long as the budget supports them under his approved supervisor authority. Jerry was asked if he were to be gone for a significant amount of time to his department function. He said yes. We discussed quarterly checking at all city buildings for maintenance. We do not know what monies will be available before the next budget reviews, which will be, when will we do the next reviews? Will it be March?
So a budget, are you talking about for this fiscal year?
Yeah.
This fiscal year, budget revisions will come to you next meeting.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Chief, please report.
I really don't have anything. We have the furnace bid here, stuff like that. It's been Christmas break and stuff like that. I haven't heard from nobody to come and put in, give us a second bid on another unit from anybody. So I don't have that. Hopefully have that this week or early next week on that. So nuisance, don't have a whole lot of nuisance that come in. We have taken care of. We got one we're taking care of right now over on Bond Street. They've been notified. And we have one on Shaw Street that's going to be getting cleaned up tomorrow. So one we've all been worried about. So that one's getting taken care of tomorrow. So I got.
I don't have none. All right, we got bill number 2221. Agreement for the police academy fisheries program. Motion to have the first reading of bill number 2201. Got a second?
Second.
Please read.
I think Lynn's gonna read that.
A resolution to authorize the mayor of the city of Cuba, Missouri to enter into an agreement with Brennan Sear for placement in the police academy tuition program.
Do it. Motion to approve the first reading of bill number 2201.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Roll call.
Bass.
Yes.
Dugan.
Yes.
Halbert.
Yes.
Mortimer.
Yes.
Hussein.
Yes.
Hartzell.
Yes.
Bill number 2198, from resolution 01 as 06.
It's a resolution. 01-06.
Old and unfinished business. Joyce.
No.
Ted. Right. Harold.
Yeah, clear on, West Washington. How long are we gonna have to live with the mess that's up there right now?
Do what now?
The old whack-all house.
Yeah.
Has anybody contacted them about cleaning up their mess?
I don't know. Have anybody heard that? You're talking about down here where that lumber is? Doug, we talked about that a few months ago.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been by there in a little while, but I can check on it tomorrow and contact the owners. The last time I seen it, there was somebody there, but it looked like it's ready to be burnt off, if you ask me. But I'll contact the owners tomorrow. See
You'll
where
check
they're
on
at,
that?
make sure they get it cleaned up.
Okay.
Almost done.
Rich, you got anything?
No.
Jeff?
I don't have anything.
Laney?
No.
I do. I just gotta say this. people have been talking about Facebook, people blaming people for this and that. But I'm gonna just say this. Just blame me for everything. I don't like for people to be drug in to stuff, about bad stuff, talking bad about people. We're all good people, everybody is good people. But if y'all wanna blame somebody, just blame me for it all. That's all I have to say. Okay, next assessment, we have a motion to go into it.
Motion.
Okay, all right.